Hey. Welcome to another episode of This Shit's Hard podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Biscuiti.
And I'm Jen, aka Rumblebum. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, Renato.
We're live.
And reporting live.
Yeah,
we are actually reporting live. We manifested.
We manifested this.
Yeah.
Go us. And you've been here for this whole journey of reporting live.
You
Yes,
have.
yes, from the beginning. That was funny.
Joining us.
Or the hair brushes or whatever you
And
can
then
find.
the Amazon $10 plastic microphone. I still have it.
That one's the MVP.
Yeah.
And then
as
it
well
was
as-
the filter. You did that,
Yes, filter with the
which
microphone.
I think you might have saved, I'm sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the spatula microphone. It's a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
Joining us today in This Shit's Hard podcast studio, welcome Renato Vicasi. We're so happy to have you. If you are listening and haven't heard of Renato's name, you most certainly have heard of Fury Photography. Ooh, ooh. So we love Renato. We love his work.
Bigger than both of us on Instagram.
What?
Bigger than both of us.
Man, that
Bigger
means
than both
absolutely
of us.
nothing.
Both of us combined.
Man,
Yes.
the followers mean absolutely nothing when there are a bunch of dudes that just want to look at the girls that you shoot, man. So that means
That could be
nothing to
true.
me.
That's why I have yet to do thirst trap shoot with you.
There we go.
That's fine.
Can't say that about myself.
Listen, you do you. I will be there to style you every step of the way.
That's great.
Renato, thanks for being here with us.
No problem.
Devin's excited to have you as
Yeah.
well. He's the man behind the multiple cameras.
And gear.
And
Way more than I think.
And
way
for
more
you, it's probably very strange that you're not behind the camera and you're
It
on this
is.
side of the
I'm a
lens.
little sweaty.
Are you going to be okay?
It's fine.
Would you like some water?
No, I'm good.
Kombucha?
I'll like sweat more if I have.
Can confirm I've seen you work out at
Yes.
height down the street.
Dying.
Dying. One time I was driving to the gym to work out and I am driving past this guy jogging. And then 10 minutes later, this guy walks in. It was Renato. And I was like, wow, you were really hauling on
I
that.
think there was another time where you were just driving by and I was like, hey, are you on this street? Because I know you can't like not recognize a chesty van.
Right.
Yes.
So
There's
and it's
that.
just like, yep, that's
Yes.
me. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I was jogging again. So, yeah.
Well, we're so happy to have you here.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. This is a very important moment in time for Renato's future because just like Jen and I have manifested this podcast coming to life, you are manifesting doing your passion of photography and videography full time.
Yeah.
And that is happening, everybody. We are making this
Yes.
announcement
Yes.
January 1st. Let's give a round of applause. For
I have that
Renato's new
button, the
life.
machine, the button with the hand claps.
We need to get one of those. Can you
Don't
put that on the
gotta
list?
do
Yeah,
You gotta
we
get
need that.
one, right?
We need that one. I want
Do
the
that
DJ
again.
one.
Oh, no.
I want to do-
I'm not going to
yeah.
be your soundbite.
We want the DJ one. The foghorn.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yes,
we
okay.
need that. Also, I'm really here for any kind of new elements. Like if we want to have a confetti machine. You might have
We have
noticed
the disco ball.
the disco
Oh, I
ball.
did see the disco ball.
Does it work? It's gotta work.
I got the smoke machine.
Ooh,
What?
Smoke? You do have a
That's
smoke
next.
machine.
Smoke.
Can you bring that tomorrow? You're
Yeah.
putting that on
I
us.
feel like I need to get myself a microphone too, just mute it.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he just like chimes in. He presses a button.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Yeah.
Young Jamie.
That would be great.
This is happening. Can we do that by tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Okay,
So that means we'll have to have you come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Once you have your new life situated in
Won't be too
2023, it will not be too long.
Not long at all.
So tell us how you came to that conclusion and what led you to that.
I want to say the last 6 to 8 months have been pretty good, right? Like when it comes to business and photography, and it just started making sense. Okay, I'm making what I'm making in one gig than what I'm making in 2 weeks there.
That's
Right.
amazing.
And tell us where there is. You don't have to name the company.
So I'm an insurance agent, and I work in an insurance agency, and spending 80 hours a week there, or 40 hours a week there. And it's just one of those things where it's fine. It's a job, and I'll either work 9 to 6 or I'll work 1 to 8 ish. So it is good at the time when my business wasn't, as flourished, where I would go to work from 1 to 8, but in the morning I would do a shoot, right? Like I've done for you and Chesty.
Right.
So it just became one of those things where it just made sense that I'm wasting too much time here when I can probably reinvest in the photography business or put more time in there, because right now, realistically, I'm making double than what I make there in 1/3 the time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's
so,
awesome. Right.
After just laying out all the numbers and stuff like that, it just made sense. And what really kind of put it over the edge is I do work there on the weekends because it is inside a car dealership, so they are open on the weekend. And then when that happens, my wife works 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. She has every weekend off.
And you have
I have a son that is in daycare Monday to Friday, but is home every weekend.
Right.
So when I have to leave the door and my son sees me dress up in my attire to go to work, and then he comes running to my leg and says, "Daddy, please don't go." Then it's just literally is kind of the worst, right? Especially because he's like learning so many new things, and these are the things that like he knows.
Right.
Yeah.
They grow so fast in 1 week.
Oh, for sure.
Ugh.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, okay. So the only reason why I'm even extending the time to stay there until the end of the year is because a couple of our employees are like out. Like one has like an injury and has to work from home until whenever they come back. And I just don't like to leave a place like shorthanded, or like, I know if I left, I would actually be hurting a lot of the other employees that do work there, and they would be overworked, and I
But that's
care
awesome,
for them.
because then,
you know what I mean? So,
it'll come back to you.
Correct. I care for them,
It's
and I don't
very
want them to have to lose days off and be away from their families, even though, I'm kind of putting myself through.
Yeah. It's very thoughtful.
Can I ask you a question about business, obviously? So a lot of people say, we hear this thing of like, just quit your job and follow your passion, right? And it's an easy idea, like, to think, oh yeah, I'm just going to quit my job and follow my passion.
Hell no.
Okay, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. Can you like tell us how long you've been building up your photography business to be able to leave and follow your passion?
So I think it was September 2019 is when I kind of started the photography. And it was one of those things where, so I did photography when I was in high school, and then I just stopped. Like after high school, I just put all my camera gear in a closet, and I forgot about it for like 9 years.
Wow.
And then I went to my mom's house, and my mom's like, "Hey, you got a bunch of shit in your closet. Like, you don't live here anymore. Take whatever you need." I said, "Okay." So I looked, and literally a bag, dusty as hell, and I was like, "Okay, well, let me just." It's all torn apart for the most part. I just need a new battery. I was like, "All right, let me just go and shoot at the gym." So I started shooting at the gym, and then got a couple little things, and like I would get like 1 gig a month, and for me, I was excited. I was like, oh, man. And it was like nothing. It was barely anything. It was just something that I was like, okay, cool. I just like paid half of my car bill.
Right.
We like
and
that.
I was like, hell yeah, this is gonna work for me. I'm happy, right?
Right.
And then Wadapalooza came around, and I was just shooting. I was just in the stands. I wasn't really doing anything. I was just having fun, and kind of blew up from there, and it just started snowballing more and more and more and more and more until now, in which, I do work for Innovate Training, like remotely doing all their content and then helping them with marketing and stuff like that. So that is a big portion of why I'm able to leave the other stuff, because I'm able to do stuff for them all year long and then have extra in the meantime. But everything I do is, for the most part, calculated, right? Like, I'm a very numbers guy. I'll lay out everything. Okay, this. Okay, I would have to, I would tell my wife, hey, we need to cut off these much bills, and I can like quit right now. Stuff like that. And then she's like, oh, okay. So, and I did make a promise to her that I was either going to get another career that would be a lot less hours or not on the weekend, or just remove it entirely. And like I said, once I just did the numbers, it made the most sense to only do that and get rid of that.
So what advice would you give to someone who is trying to pursue their passion and hates the job that they're in? Like, what's one good...
Depends on how badly they hate the job, right? Because
True,
if you completely...
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, you can probably find a 9 to 5 anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be that. You can just spend hours and hours of research online, just like if you were to find out something on YouTube. You can find what career might be best for you, whether it is something that was me that I turned into a hobby, into a business, versus something that you actually want to do, right? Some people want to be a lawyer.
Right.
Well, you got to go through the time and do all this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, the advice would be just do your research, do some math. If you got to move in with your parents to save some funds and build that business or whatever, then do it. I'm not the type of person to be like, hey, like you said, just follow your career, just quit everything and go live in an RV and run around and do whatever. I'm not that guy, so I wouldn't be able to be the person to tell you that, since I'm very calculated. But I don't know, see what you like the most, try to build it as much as possible, and then just do it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think everything has to have a plan. I think it's...
Correct.
You know, it's kind of unrealistic to be like, oh, just follow your passion. Like, what does that mean? What?
When I hear that, I almost like... I mean, nothing against anybody that's done it.
Right.
I like almost like, I'm like, really? Come on. Like,
Well, I feel like there's a scale.
Yes.
yeah.
There's a
And on this scale, you are way closer to the I have a plan
Yes.
location
100%.
than I was.
Yeah.
Because even when I had a plan, it didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
I saved what I thought was going to be like 8 to 12 months worth of, funds to run the Chesty business, and I ran out of money in like 3 months.
Yeah. Usually
But
how
you
it
still
goes.
planned. You were
I
trying.
sure
to plan.
did.
You had a plan.
Thank
You had a
you.
plan.
Jen's forever my hype woman. Wow, we're so excited for you though. That's
No,
great.
thanks. It'll be good, and even if it only lasts a year or 2 years, at least those are the 2 years or year that I have to be more with my family that I haven't been, so that I get to make up all those hours, and that's kind of like, that's my mentality of going into it. I can't always think like, oh yeah, it's going to be amazing, because it doesn't always work out that way, right? Like, the road just always goes this way. It doesn't go
Always.
straight.
And how old is Logan now?
He'll be 3 on the end of the year.
This is such a good time for you to do this.
Correct.
This is great.
Yeah.
What's his birthday?
December 31st.
Oh my gosh, I
He's
love
a
that.
New Year's baby.
Oh,
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve, baby.
I love that. This is great. So you are on your lunch break
I
right
am
now.
on my lunch
Yes.
from the job that I'm quitting.
This is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is wild.
It's
Well,
great.
thank you for taking the time off for us to ask you the hard-hitting, important questions that everyone wants to
Everyone
know.
wants to know.
Oh, God.
How many requests do you get to shoot nudes?
Yes.
Um,
Let's get down to it.
Let's get right down to it. We've got a lot of questions, baby.
I really don't.
Because you can tell the people who don't know. You do,
I do
obviously
everything.
mainly, but you do everything. Is your main thing CrossFit, athletics, whatever,
Correct.
and then like secondary is everything else?
Yeah, bread and butter has been CrossFit, fitness,
Okay.
stuff like that. Everything else, I do weddings, I do family portraits, I do pretty much everything like that. Like, whatever, if someone wants to have a gift for their significant other or just for themselves, right? Like, they'll.
Right.
But I never ever promote it either. I just kind of
Right.
will post it on my story based off someone posting
Reposting
it
it.
themselves.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'll get a couple questions, but it's not like all the time, right? It'll just be, let's say, once every few months. And then I have clients that have OnlyFans that probably want to use me for once a month. And, that's fine. It's great.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about the OnlyFans for a minute because
Yeah.
it's very intriguing
It
still to me. So this, when you get a client that say is OnlyFans, how much content would you typically do for an OnlyFans account?
I don't know, however many outfits they want to do in a couple hours, or the rate just varies depending on time.
I mean, it's rough in these streets right now, and so she's asking probably
no.
because we might need to
She's
come up
asking
with
for a
it.
friend, right?
I'm planning
She's
my
making
future.
her plan.
Just in
Okay.
case this
We
doesn't
need
work
you to
out.
answer this specifically.
No, it just varies. Like, if you got, 6 outfits that you want to roll through, we can probably knock those things in 2 hours. And then, you can probably tenfold, whatever.
And obviously to you it's just like another day at the office.
Yeah, it
like
makes no difference
like
to
a
me.
gynecologist, a boob is a
A
boob.
boob is
Yeah,
a
it
boob.
makes
A
no
jean's of a
difference to me.
jean.
Right.
No, it makes no difference to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I go in there and I don't really think about the person being in whatever outfit they're in. It's just like, okay, how am I going to make this look good? And
right.
that's like the only focus when I'm there.
Right.
So.
And I have to ask this for the ladies. And your wife cares, doesn't care?
She cares. She probably cares a lot more than I think she does.
Sure. Yes, as most women.
But I also don't
right.
go and say, hey, honey, I'm going to go shoot this today.
And,
okay.
and we appreciate that you
so
don't do that.
I don't do that. So,
right.
and even when I like edit images, it's usually like I'll be home and I just kind of roll through it, or I'll do it overnight and stuff like that. So,
right.
and even, I mean, that's even just in general. Even when I don't do that type of photography, like I just edit when everyone's kind of asleep, so that I'm not taking much time away.
Confirm, I have left a photo shoot at 6 p.m. for Chesty, to be clear, not for my OnlyFans that doesn't exist. Not that I'm judging. If you want to do that, that's cool.
Absolutely not.
Right, we do not judge here. But I can confirm that I have been still driving home from the shoot or just getting to my email.
You get like a sneak peek.
Yeah, 2 hours later, or even an hour later, and he's already sent me an edited sneak peek, which sets the bar very high, I will say.
Yeah, but I screw myself when I do that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Like, it just becomes like, oh, we expected everything 48 hours ago. And I'm like, bro, give me a day off.
Right,
But
exactly.
it's just one of those things, I just do it.
Yeah.
I want to actually do it as fast as possible so that I don't have anything backed up for the next one.
Sure.
Because sometimes I'll have back to back to back.
Right.
And I would rather something that I can probably just like power through and just do it instead of now, oh, okay, wait, now I'm like 3 days behind or 4 days behind, a week, and then I'm like, they just keep coming.
Sure. And so in the spirit of keeping with the theme of this shit's hard, what is the hardest thing you've had to do, whether it's on a shoot, on the job, or just learning your industry?
The probably time management is like the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes you go in there with a plan, or let's say you go to a shoot location and the shoot location all of a sudden is under construction. Then
Right.
you got to almost have like a plan B and a plan C sometimes that are nearby. Obviously, most of the times that when I shoot places, it's not like a rented space. It's like a car garage or at a gym, or
Right.
that would probably be the main thing is, making most of someone's time or just winging it. That would probably be the hardest thing, or like forgetting a battery.
Ooh,
That would be way worse.
forgetting a battery. Well, what about the time we were shooting just last month, and we were, of course, in a public retail shopping plaza where the Chesty Mobile also doubles as the fitting room for all of the models. We just get in the back seat and change quickly. How about I don't even know what to call her, the cat caller lady?
Yeah. She was. What was she saying? Like, oh, I would never let my daughter wear a bra like that. Even though, I mean, if you've seen the Chesty bra, there's nothing showing.
No.
I
She
think it
should
was
have
like
seen
more
my
of a midriff,
EDC
right?
outfit.
Oh gosh,
She would have lost her mind.
What was it? Just like a midriff and yoga and like leggings?
It was literally a long line sports bra and leggings that she would never let her daughter wear.
She
And
had
it
to
was
make the
making no
announcement.
sense because that lady was like
multiple times
with her
needed
cart.
to make that announcement.
Yeah, and she had like her cart. She was just rolling around, and I mean, who knows when she last seen her.
It's been good times. Yeah. Good times on the shoots
Lots
with
of
Renato.
adventures.
What'd you say?
Lots of adventures.
Lots of adventures. And what is your favorite place that you've traveled for work?
North Carolina. There's when I went over there, it wasn't Charlotte. I forget. Cornelius, North Carolina. It's just really, really pretty. It was just really, really nice. Maybe it must have been the time that I was there. I think it was like closer to fall.
I mean, it is beautiful there.
Yeah. It's a little town, maybe like 40 minutes north of Charlotte, and it was really, really pretty. Like, I really just enjoyed just being around all that type of visual. It was really fun.
Where did you grow up?
Pretty much here. I was like raised in North Miami Beach for most of my life. But I was born in Sacramento, but I think I was here since I was a year old. So I'm pretty much Florida.
You're a native then.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're all natives.
South Florida, locals.
Locals.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get the local sticker, right?
Local, yeah.
With the
Florida,
with the outline
with
of
the
Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the hardest thing at a competition behind the scenes for photographers that people do not see, because I think that most people, vendors, spectators, just think that your job is just to walk around and take pictures and it's not a big deal and it's easy. So what is the hardest thing, even amongst the other photographers, when you're at a big competition like Wadapalooza, etc.?
Well, so the larger competitions aren't usually as hard because you're kind of focusing on your athlete. The smaller competitions are usually, so freaking throwdown. In the past, I was like part of the media team, or I would like create a little team and do it. Those are harder because you're now organizing, you know, the photo packages, making sure everyone has images, organizing where everyone's being, because there's a couple workouts going on at once. And then the hardest part is really like getting everyone to just be satisfied with the images that they've gotten, even though they didn't pay, like, or not that they didn't pay, but like some the price isn't that much when you go per person for a weekend.
I was going to say that was my next question. How do you work with divas?
Ooh, I like that question.
Divas. You don't?
I don't. I mean, Nicole will tell you, I'm very like, hey, look, well, for example, there was one time I kind of dealt with, and this was actually me starting off, and after that is when I knew, like, I really don't work with these type of people. You know, she had a high following, and that was it. It was just one of those things where I needed to just get, like, work under my belt just for the fun of it. And then I send her the images, and she sends me, like, oh, I want to have this and this and this done to, like, this one image.
But completely, wanted it completely altered.
Yeah.
Renata was like, if I do this, you're going to look like a different human.
Yeah, she sent me a screenshot and then, like, circled all the parts that she wanted fixed. And I was like, hey, I'm letting you know, like, I'm not that dude.
No.
If you don't like the way that you look, then you didn't come prepared like I did.
Oh, snap.
So, and I've posted that. I've been very, like, vocal about it personally. Like, if you don't like the way that you look, I can't help you. I'm not a Photoshop guy. If you want a Photoshop guy, find a Photoshop guy. But I'm not that guy.
Download an app.
Correct.
Because there's apps for that now.
Yeah, do whatever you need to do, but it won't be me doing all that extra work, because I'm just not that guy.
But then that also becomes your work and what you are known for as well.
Yeah, if they want to do it, that's fine. You paid for it. Go ahead. I don't care. Right. But if you want me to do it, I can't help you if you don't have the six-pack abs that you wanted that day and you only have 4, right? Like, I can't help you.
You can just add 2 at the bottom. The bottom ones are the hardest ones to maintain.
I mean, I'll take the 4.
Yeah, me too.
I'll take 2. I'll take 2.
We'll just take the top 2.
Yeah.
What is your favorite, if you just, every day, I only want to shoot this. I can only shoot one thing for the rest of my career. What is it? I don't
have one.
Ooh, really?
Okay.
No, I don't have one, because some days I'll be like, all right, I'm really, really excited for this CrossFit shoot, and then another day I'm really, really excited to shoot cars, or another day I'm really, really excited to shoot a wedding, or another day I might be really, really excited to shoot family stuff.
Who says that? Not Devin.
The one thing is about weddings is that one has the most pressure.
I can see that.
But other than that, like, for the most part, I don't have like a favorite, right? Like, for me, it's all very like, oh, okay, this is going to be cool, especially if you're, you know, talking about really cool locations or stuff like that. Like, that gets me more excited than anything. Like, where are we shooting, or how is it different from the last time? Because I can go to a million different CrossFit gyms, and maybe one CrossFit gym might have like a rooftop bay where I can shoot straight down. That would get me excited. Or, you know, I don't really have like a favorite.
Right. Renato and I have this thing where we send each other photo shoot locations, and I'll just send him a photo with a pin.
Remember this spot.
Yeah.
And
That's a good way to do it.
Exactly. I'll say #angles.
Every time.
Every time. Wait, I just lost my question that I was going to ask you. I think it was related to... I'll come back to it. It's fine. The backlight, that it's pink, it's distracting me a little bit. I went deep into this like 90s
just like zoned out.
light hole. Yes, it's all good. So do we want to try to do some rapid fire and then come back to the question once I remember it, because that's how my mind is set up?
All right.
Okay. Rapid fire. Here we go. Question number 1. Don't worry, it's not having anything to do with sex. We know that you're. Look at his face.
Just makes me feel a little weird.
Or maybe we should have added
We
rapid
should.
fire sex questions.
Well, we can.
Oh,
We can bring it back. We can add it to the
I'm gonna
list.
just call pass.
By the way, Devin's shaking his head. No.
All right, first question. Favorite weekend plans pre and post COVID?
Oh, I don't know. Well, my son was kind of born during it, so just like taking a walk in the park, I guess would be kind of fun. I'd probably like just going outside. To the pool.
And now that everything's
The same thing.
okay.
Yeah, I take my son to
Wow.
the park all the time.
Wow.
Steady.
Steady.
He keeps it even.
Yeah, I don't switch it up.
Okay.
Toilet paper roll. Over under.
Over always.
All right.
There's no such thing as an under. Under's dumb.
Oh, we just talked to an under.
No.
We did.
Dumb.
N-
No.
No, I don't
No.
understand what the big debate is what I don't understand.
So
like,
what-
like who cares?
Do
Really?
you just do whatever?
Yes.
Mm.
I don't care.
Mm-mm.
What I don't understand.
It's method.
It's way easier to rip the paper towel or the toilet paper when it's rolled over. You can easily like put one finger on it and then go. If it's the other way, it like completely rolls all the way and you don't know when to stop. And no.
Jen's face
This is
right
way
now.
too big of a thing.
I'm telling
I
you.
feel like you just go in there
Over every time.
and use the bathroom and pull some toilet paper.
Nope.
Like, why are we thinking so hard about it?
No.
But evidently, it's a big thing.
Well, you're
Always.
Okay.
3-1 in this room.
I'm an I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
She's a hybrid.
She's a
I'm
hybrid.
a hybrid. Sparkling water, gross or yes?
Only when I add like the crystal light thing.
Ah.
I don't like it just straight.
So gross.
Yeah. I wouldn't drink it straight.
Right.
To be clear,
To be clear, gross. Have you tried Olipop?
No, I have not.
we really need to, Renato, seriously, we need to get Jen sponsored by Olipop. Olipop execs, if you're
I see it.
listening, she lives in Central Florida. She has a very nice, very engaged following on social media. On the
I
socials.
literally stalked down I was so excited today when we went to Whole Foods and found the apple flavor that is
the apple cider.
crisp
Or
apple.
Crisp apple.
Yeah. Anyways.
She was very excited.
I'm very excited. I get really too excited about things like this. I'm a simple gal. Obvious. Okay, next question. We know the answer, but do you drink coffee?
No. Hell no.
You didn't know the answer.
I didn't know the answer.
I knew the answer to this.
This I'm shocked about.
Why?
Well,
This-
now she wants to know, so how do you get your caffeine?
Okay.
Oh.
What don't you like about
coffee
it?
for me is not about caffeine.
I hate the taste of it. I don't like the way it tastes.
Even like with creamer, flavored
Nothing.
creamer.
Like,
What do you
there's
drink?
nothing.
What is your drink of choice?
Devin's feelings are
So,
hurt.
I know.
so this is going to be the fun part, right? So I am a very like fruity drink person. So even when it comes to alcohol, I like my coffee, if I had a coffee, would be like the refreshers at Starbucks. And I actually request those with no water, so it's like straight
Right.
juice,
Yes.
Wow.
right? And like light ice, so I don't like take one sip and all of it's gone, right?
Well, yeah.
So for your cocktail then, do you drink Sex on the Beach?
Yeah.
I like cosmopolitans.
Oh
no
my
problem.
gosh.
Bro, you know what's funny, right? Me and my
Wow.
wife, anytime me and my wife we'll go to a bar, we order a drink, and they will hand me like the old fashioned. That's for my wife.
And you're
Even
like,
though,
no.
mind you, I'll drink an old fashioned. I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
But she drinks all the typical like man drinks,
Yes.
no problem, like double IPAs, all that stuff,
So
and I have all the little fruity ones.
My lady.
So
the
they'll drop
umbrella.
it, yeah. So
With the
they'll
umbrella.
drop all the drinks, and we just switch all the time. Happens all the time.
Wow.
I
love
learned
this.
something new about you today. No, coffee in my mind is blown.
Alone.
Blown. This says, according to this sheet, just checking to see if we can be friends.
Oh.
All right,
And yet we're still here.
And
so
yet
we're still
you're
here. We're
good.
all right.
We'll allow it because it's you.
we get a pass.
You
We're
get a
going to allow
pass.
it.
What is your gut reaction when someone asks you if they can pick your brain?
What do you want to know?
Ooh, that
Are
is
you-
very generous.
That's very generous.
Okay.
So even if like someone is in your DM who is an aspiring photographer and is like, "Hey, can I pick your brain?" But
Yeah.
really they mean like, "Can you like teach me?"
Well, a lot of times I get it a lot where it's like, hey, could you help me out with this or whatever. When I was kind of starting out in photography, I didn't necessarily have a bunch of help. right? I would probably ask Ruel, which you know Ruel,
Yes.
a couple questions here and there.
He's great.
Yeah.
You're well.
You know Ruel's
but for the
Oh,
most
yeah.
part, like anytime I would actually reach out to people, I wouldn't necessarily get a response at all or just be left on red. So I would just go on YouTube and just like, if there was one thing that was particularly something that I needed to know, I would just try to find it somehow and just do my own research. So I wanted to make sure that if anybody else asked me that question, I would just do my best to help them, or if I didn't have the answer, I would just guide them. I get the question like, oh, what's the best beginner camera? I can't tell you what it is now. I know what it was way back when.
Right.
I don't know what it is now, so just like YouTube this. If you're trying to figure out
Goog. Is that the word
Yeah.
we used
Oh,
today?
yes. Goog.
The goog.
The
the
goog.
what?
The goog.
Oh, is that the
We
We
just heard this
learned
new
this
term.
word this morning.
Yes.
Go
Blew
on
our
the goog.
minds.
I hate abbreviations.
The goog. We used it today. We got to use the word today.
We did.
It's great.
Renato is the type of person who would hate abbreviations, though.
Yeah. Like the abbreviation has to like make sense. It's like
Goog.
the goog is no.
The goog.
No.
You're like, no.
There's
no,
a whole language
The goog. Yeah.
that exists.
I couldn't exist on the language,
No.
but a couple here and there.
When I have to consistently put your words that you use with me
Into the goog.
into the Goog or Urban Dictionary,
Oh, right. Urban Dictionary. Yes.
it's too hard. This isn't going to work. We can't keep talking.
I forgot where I was. At one time I was having a conversation with a few people and I heard someone say, oh, that soup's cute. And I literally just walked away.
You're like, I don't have time for this shit.
I'm like, this is not my vibe. Bye.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That is
I don't
like
have
that's
time
too
for
much.
this.
Like you
I
can't.
don't even drink coffee. I'm leaving.
Like you have to abbreviate super. Like please. Like that's too much laziness for me.
See, Renato's a straight shooter, and this is
Yeah.
why we appreciate him.
We do.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yes.
he gets right down to
Yeah,
business.
just straight up.
All
Yeah.
right. You want to
We love
go
that.
over the one words? One
Ooh,
words.
okay. Oh, sorry. Well, we have one more question, which I kind of already know because of our conversations when you designed our chesty shorties,
Yes.
which had to be 9-inch inseam.
Yeah.
But
That
he's
is
still-
not. That is not really in
It's
the.
not. It's not a thing right
it's not
now.
a thing right now.
And he continues to ask me for 11-inch. He
Huh,
wants the
what?
longer the better for him.
I mean, with the 90 fashions coming in, the 11-inch might be a
It's
thing.
gonna come back, man.
But-
It's consistent.
I don't know
If
about
the one
in
word is if the
athletic
one
way.
word is consistent. Whatever question, it's consistent.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get right to that in a second. But so is it linerless or do you use the liners in your shorts?
Oh, shorts? No, I just wear boxers.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I did used to have like a pair of Lululemon shorts that had it. And it was great, but I don't know. I would have to like just come out of the shower and just put it on, instead of like I'm already wearing boxers. Got to take off my boxers, then put a pair of shorts. When I could just put a pair of shorts,
I feel you.
like convenience.
Got it. All right.
I was just thinking as you were talking with this crazy light behind you.
Still,
It's so fun that the three of us and now the four of us get to see each other all over the country at
Yes.
these events.
yeah, we were texting.
2 weeks ago, we were in Texas together.
Yes, we were. That was
Oh,
2
what
weeks
was
ago.
that? The canopy just
Oh my goodness!
literally
Okay.
almost killed you.
Yeah.
We had it was not my best day, Devin.
This is not the best day.
Devin texts me.
This is not.
The voice texts are my favorite voice notes, and I send him a voice note back, and I was basically like, I will address this later. I am having a day. And it was a day. So basically we were setting up the Chesty booth. Renato was at the Innovate booth right next to us. And thankfully he came over to help us. But even with his help,
didn't help.
it did not prevent the large canopy from completely collapsing on top of Jen. On Jen.
I'm here.
And finally,
Still here.
we just decided to scrap that element. Nicole had a good cry. Everything was fine. But we're happy to have you back in South Florida now.
Event life.
Event life,
Yeah.
vendor life,
Vendor life.
vendor life. Whew, it is rough. I would pick to be a competitor all day, every day
Over
over
For
the
sure.
vendor life.
Yeah.
It's way more logistics than vendor life.
Right. And then you have people doing everything for you when you're an athlete, especially at the high level.
Right, yeah.
Oh, here, I was holding your sweat towel
Right.
for you. Here's a water. Let me take those wrist wraps off for you so you can save your grip.
Here, let me massage you.
Let me massage you. Let me put your feet in Normatec boots. What's not to like about
Can
that?
I get you a cocktail while you're in your enormous boots?
Can I get you a post-workout shake?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Thank you. All right. Now, this is the part of the activity where we get to one-word answers from you. We say a word. You say one word back. The first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, man.
I'll tee this first one up. We'll ease you into it because, as you well know, Jen and I just went to EDC Orlando.
Oh.
It was my first festival. So now we want to know, first thing that comes to mind, one word, festivals.
Drugs.
I mean, fair.
That's probably a lot of people, actually.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Situationships.
What?
Hey, that's the first word that came to your mind.
Exactly.
You're like, what?
That was a great answer.
Great answer.
Great answer.
And also a relevant answer.
It really is.
It's a relevant answer.
I appreciate having you as a friend so much, and that answer just solidified why we are friends.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great. Sunglasses at night.
No.
I agree.
Or it would have been either no or why.
I agree. You know what? There was a lot of people who wore sunglasses at night at the festival.
There were.
I get it at festivals because drugs. But also, I'm just like, but why?
Yeah, everybody's on it. Like, why are you?
But why?
No.
Anyways, I agree with you.
Finally, international travel.
Yes.
No, finally,
Oh, we have another one.
Oh, there's another one.
We have an additional because you're special and it's you.
sex.
Pass. I got my word.
There.
All right, we tried.
We tried. Devin, from the producer standpoint, is there anything that you would like to ask Renato? Do you want to weigh in for the males here, the male identifying people in the room, or are we good?
I'm just happy to be here.
That was such a nice answer. Well, I'll tell you why I appreciate you. This is Jen and I's first day of recording what will prove to be a long-lasting, very fun and entertaining road and journey that we are on with This Shit's Hard podcast. And it means so much to us to have our friend and very talented, career-driven photographer.
Thank you guys
for being here.
This
Thank you
wasn't
so
like
much.
work at all. This is fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
that's the point.
super the point.
Super the point.
Super the
point for us too.
Do we do like a 3, 2, 1 huddle, or how do you want to sign out?
I'll let you guys handle that.
Why don't we sign out with our mantra? You've heard it before. It starts with happy.
I'm like, wait.
This is
don't put me on the
which
spot.
mantra?
One of the many. Don't put me on the spot.
Right. Well, one of my mantras that's real short, that's not it, is I am rich, I am that bitch.
Oh, all right.
But our mantra is, are you ready?
I think so.
We are happy, we are healthy, we are wealthy, we are smoke shows.
That works. I mean, I wouldn't yell that out loud, but
We just did.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why you guys did it.
Yeah.
Thank you. We can't wait to have you back.
Let me
We
know.
will be in different places in our lives and careers. And maybe we'll even get to, talk about wardrobe because right now he's head to toe black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a collared shirt to go to work.
Yeah. You still look great.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
As soon as I'm done here, I'll have to go back. And then after that, pick up my son, then go to the gym, and then go home.
Because
And then
this
add more.
shit is hard.
Because this shit is hard. Well, thank you for taking some time out of your very busy and difficult day to be with
Anytime.
us.
You let me know when.
We will. Thank you.
We love you.